Hey, Kurt here. As someone who's been in the doc game for over 25 years, I hear people say that a goal of a film is to take the audience on a journey. I've always kind of wondered what exactly that meant. The word journey seems to be doing a lot of heavy lifting there. I mean, I get it. Journey films are usually about someone going someplace and changing along the way. And sure, that's fun, being out on the road, seeing crazy people and weird places. I get the appeal. I made a bunch of road movies myself. But a lot of films that people seem to think were journey films, I don't think are. And a lot of other films that don't have any obvious journey still felt very, well, journey-like to me. So yeah, there's all kinds of journey films. Take the doc Icarus, which takes place on bicycles, but is about another kind of... You don't like Icarus, Banjo? Okay, well... Take the doc Icarus, which takes place on bicycles, but is about another kind of journey. Not so much a geographic one, but one of knowledge, which is what's great about it. It fakes you out thinking that it's going to be about going places on bikes, but it ends up being about learning things in science labs. So you see, journey is a big word, and used in this context, it could kind of be confusing. But the thing is, most docs, in some ways, should be journey films, because traveling from one place to another, either physically, emotionally, or intellectually, is what makes for a great story. Oh, God, I wrote a thing in my script. His little line says, Kurt says something interesting about journey films while on a bike. I don't know what the hell I was talking about, man. Come on, man, turn on. What the hell is going on here? There we go. Okay. All right. I'm going to go on a journey myself today. Me and my bike. Going to go around town, not too far. I'm not going to film it, however. But a lot of you out there, you want to film your journey. And if you do, I got some tips for you. So let's break this down. There's 3 parts to a journey film: the characters in the film itself, the filmmaker making the film, and the audience. There's the obvious journey films where someone gets in a car or a boat or a plane or something. Heck, David Lynch made a film about a guy who rode a lawnmower a lot. And who can forget Forrest Gump? He ran. But there's a lot of films that don't seem like a journey, but are. Competition and sports films like Spellbound and Rocky are journey films. We meet the characters at the beginning of their quest for knowledge or glory or whatever. They face a bunch of obstacles, be it really hard words or right hooks to the chin, and then it's the big match. Maybe they win, maybe they don't. But they usually learn something. Maybe it's a lesson or something personal about what makes them tick. Either way, everyone goes home a winner. The characters in the film and the audience. There's also a different kind of journey film. One of knowledge, where the characters start from a place of ignorance and finish with, if not knowledge, then at least more information than they started with. These types of films can range from the obvious, like Aaron Brockovich, to the sublime, like Three Identical Strangers. Of course, the quality of the film usually then depends on what our hero or heroes do with that knowledge. And you would think that most biopics are journey films, but usually they're not. They're mostly hagiographies. They hit all the major points of a person's life, whether they're victories or defeats. They start at one point, usually the beginning of a life or a career, and go to the end. That sure sounds like a journey, but these kinds of films are very observational. They usually happen in the past, before the cameras were rolling, so we don't see these pivotal events and can't watch while the character grows and changes. In a journey film, the main character needs to be a participant, not an object, and the audience can feel the difference. Think of it this way. Biopics are to journey films as pictures of great trips are to actually going on it. Is Jim Henson Idea Man a journey film? Nope. Now, there are exceptions, and that's because sometimes biodocs can be exceptional. I remember seeing Dogtown and Z-Boys, and it was so gripping that I had weird pangs of nostalgia for a time and a place that I didn't actually experience. While after watching the narrative film Lords of Dogtown, which was based on that documentary, I didn't really feel much at all.
So let's say that you want to make a doc about something that really, really interests you. Maybe you know a little about the subject and want to know more. Or maybe you're an expert and you think it's time that a film's been made about the subject and you're just the person to do it. In this case, the filmmaker, you, have already gone on your journey. Your goal now is to adapt that journey to the screen. Just like how screenwriters take a novel and adapt it to film, a documentary director who is using their own experience as the basis for a film now has to adapt that to film. And unfortunately, it's not just about interviewing the top 50 experts on the subject. Info dumps can feel cathartic and like a good thing. Once in a while, they can work, especially if it's about a topic that's both interesting to the general public and something that is underreported. Otherwise, the doc risks becoming a visual textbook. A lot of info, no entertainment. Not that every film has to be a laugh riot or a gut-wrenching drama, but a dash of entertainment also helps people recall what they're watching. It's like that song. A spoonful of sugar helps to make the medicine go down. And I'm not really going to try to sing any more than that for you. So just how does one adapt a life for the screen? Especially if it's your life and you're still living it. Well, first thing, make it interesting. And you do that by not starting at the ending of your journey. See, you've already lived your life. You know all the ups and downs and dead ends. You want to spare the audience all the pain and loss and wrong theories and get straight to the good part. And I'll say that is exactly what you should not do. Now, a lot of films don't really need or reflect on the journey of a filmmaker. A biography of Mr. Rogers isn't about the director, but Bowling for Columbine is as much about Michael Moore's thoughts and feelings about the issues in the film as it is about what was filmed. The audience is made up of people, some like yourself, others that may be very different from you, but humans, we're all curious. If something interests you, why? Why do you care? How do you go from not caring, maybe not even knowing that this subject existed, to caring enough to make a film about it? The audience wants and kind of needs and even deserves to have the same experience as you did, or at least have a close approximation, and that's your job. The goal here is to take the audience on a shortened and, for lack of a better word, edited version of your own journey. If it was exciting and interesting to you, it will probably be for the audience. Trust that process. So don't beat your audience over the head with information, no matter how important you think it is. As the saying goes, leave the preaching to the pulpit. And for the audience sitting out there in viewer land, how do they participate on a filmic journey? They can't get in a car or hop on the bike with you. And honestly, just filming from inside a car as traffic signs go by doesn't scream entertaining, does it? As with most things in a film, it usually comes down to emotion. Does the audience care about the journey, the people taking the journey, or even the point of the journey? If the answer is no, then that audience is getting off at their first rest stop. And I know that with a lot of filmmakers, that's kind of a problem. Because, see, they have all this knowledge, so their thinking is, why should they waste the audience's time by dealing with preliminary material? I know who the experts are and what all the issues are, so just let's get to the good part. And yes, theoretically, it's not bad thinking, but that cut to the chase, let's get right to the point attitude is missing one key component. If the audience doesn't care, they're not going to listen. And even if they do listen, it's not going to sink in. You'll have done a ton of work for that message to land very flat. The audience, for the most part, is going to start from a place of ignorance. It's up to you to get them to a destination. Make them understand why the journey is important. Make it fun and interesting. Meet crazy people and do wacky things. Think about it this way. When you look back on your own journey with this subject, is it boring? Dull? A waste of time? Probably not, so don't make the audience go on the wrong journey. Now, there's a lot of potential problems in trying to make a good journey film. The main one being the sense of the journey itself. Most journeys need to be a bit longer than a few days for them to actually have any meaning. So then you begin to run into logistical problems. How long are you going to follow the character? Days, weeks, years? Think about the Up series of films. We're talking over 50 years of following a group of characters. That's a long friggin' time. But that's what they've done. Now, most of you are not twisted, or should I say determined enough to actually work on a film or series of films for that long. But one thing you need to figure out is how long is long enough to tell the story you want to tell. Only you can decide that one. Honestly, Most good film journeys are accidents. Filmmakers are always telling me and this character are going to hop in a car and drive across the country and do this thing. And when we get to the end, we'll have a film. Yay! Yeah, I've gotten a lot of phone calls from people who tried that and wondered why they didn't have a film. Even the doc I worked on, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, the main guy got a film crew. Hopped in a car, drove across the country for 30 days talking to people about their health and trying to understand America and its relationship to food. But was it a movie? Not really. Just going someplace and hoping something happens doesn't usually work. And that's because the journey isn't the point. It's why a journey was necessary. And your job as the filmmaker, if you choose to accept it, is to make that journey mean as much for the audience as it does for the characters. Why did they go on this journey? Why is it important for you to show this journey? Why is it important for the audience to watch the journey? It's not about the destination. It's all the struggle and the sweat and the doubts along the way. And that's what audiences respond to, emotion. So they want to come along on the journey with you. So let them in.
All right. Well, my journey's finished for the day. It was pretty successful. 41 minutes bike ride, not too bad. Hopefully, you've gotten some information out that can help you on your journey if you decide to film it. Okay then, smash that like button, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Have fun on your journey. So long.